is not true. We have a problem. Okay? Now we have a difference in perception of reality. So the language at that point is not working for us. This statement is true. You say, no, this statement is not true. Oh, okay, we have a problem. Now then, that's when philosophical argumentation comes in. Then we start hashing out why one thinks this is true, why one thinks this is not true. And persuading one or the other to our beliefs. Okay? Let's talk about two types of knowledge. We've talked about two types of truth. Let's talk about two types of knowledge. I've already thrown them out last class, but now we're going to formally define them. We've already talked about when I did the little class exercise. Have you ever done anything a priori that you knew you would regret a posteriori? Remember that little exercise? You know? Okay. A priori is just simply from the Latin term meaning what comes from before. Okay? From what comes before. Or prior to is a simpler way to put that. The Latin for a posteriori from what comes after. Post, we all know that. Post, prior and post. You hear that? It's from Latin. Okay? And these are the two types of knowledge. So we have a priori knowledge. Now that's going to be a rationalist that we've already talked a little bit about. Rational knowledge. Something you already know it and you never experienced it. How can you know something you've never experienced? But I know. I've never been to California, but I know California is there. I know. I'm fully convinced. Or is that true? Is that knowledge or is that true belief? See, there's a difference. True belief says, I really believe very, very strongly, and it just so happens that it is true. There is a California, and it does exist, and it's west of us, etc., etc. Okay? Knowledge says, I actually know that. There's a connection in reality somewhere. I know this is true. So do you really know California exists? This is a question to ask. Do you really know California exists, or do you just truly believe California exists? It just so happens it does, and you just strongly believe it exists, even though you've never been there. Right? So which is it? Does California existing, is that knowledge, or is that true belief?
I have belief, but my wife has knowledge.
Okay, your wife has knowledge. So that's once removed. It doesn't count. It's got to be you. It's all about you. It's got to be you. So which is it?
Belief.
Huh?
Belief.
True belief? What we would call true belief. Okay? Now, that gets to be kind of sticky wicky because some people say to know something means that we believe it. How can you say that you know something but yet don't believe it? That becomes kind of a word game at a point. And that's going to play this. Alright. Correspondence theory of truth. This theory explains truth by its relationship to the way the world is, stating that truth is determined by its correspondence to a fact that exists in the world. Okay, so it's true. So in the case of the Matrix, it was really nothing in that world was true. The only thing true about that world was that it was a big hoax on all those millions of bodies that were plugged in to be a big Duracell battery for the computers, for the artificial intelligence. There was no, according to correspondence theory of truth, that none of that would have been true. It didn't correspond to something in the world. It was just a dream world. Alright? So how many of you would accept this as, this makes sense, this is what truth is? Any takers? Does this sound like what truth is? If it doesn't match the real world, then it's not true. So it could be true and not match the real world? Think it could?
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Like, I could truly think he was a good guy, he's really not. Is that what you mean? No.
Well, no, because then that would mean that you had a false belief, so no, because it wouldn't match reality, so it wouldn't be truth, it would be, you just thought that, it would be a belief that came to be not true. You would be believing, that's the way we'd say, right, in common lingo, I believe he's a nice guy, it turns out to be, right?
Yeah.
Nobody gets married to somebody that thinks the biggest jerk in the world, right? Oh, they get married, they're just, this person's wonderful, and wow, 10 years later they're divorced.
So is this like, I live in Arkansas, but near the Missouri border. Now, since Missouri is connected to Arkansas, I can see it, but I've never been there. It's there. I can take that as knowledge.
If you see Missouri, but you haven't been there.
Yeah, like the border's right here, and I can see it over there, but I haven't been there. But it corresponds to this Arkansas reality.
Okay. Well, you physically verified it too, at least in one of your 5 senses. You've seen it. So, if you want to say, I'm not drawing a line between touching something and seeing it. I wouldn't make that distinction. Not at this point, although we could start dividing that up too if you don't see it. But I wasn't making that distinction. Let's look at another way of seeing things, and then maybe that'll help you to sort it out. Coherence theory of truth. Truth is in reference to what we already hold to be true in order to ascertain whether a new proposition is true. Alright? Truth is in reference to. Okay, so in the Matrix, when Neo came out of the Matrix, when he got unplugged, don't you know, think about, try to imagine yourself in that situation. Whoa, what is this big mess? Slime all over me. I'm in this strange place. Just think about if you were in that scenario. Where's my pretty dream world that I just came out of? I want to go eat steak. Think about, he was having a hard time adjusting. Why? Put yourself in that situation. I realize that's a crazy hypothetical situation, but let's just go there for a second in our imagination. Okay? Put yourself in that and think in terms of, this did not fit his reality. The known reality that he had for, I don't know how old Keanu Reeves would be, 30 years old or whatever he was, it did not match what he had known in his mind for all those years. What is this? He wakes up into this horror, and then he gets picked up by this machine and dumped into the sewer. Wow, that's, what a way to start reality, true reality. Okay, but things did not fit into his framework, his mental framework of what's possible. That's what he's dealing with. That's what Morpheus is dealing with. That guy is him trying to break him out of thinking he's in this dream world, he's in this computer animated world, digital reality, and he's trying to get him to think outside of that box and to think, wait a minute, this isn't even real. It's just meant to entertain you. It's meant to deceive you into thinking it's real. But now that you know it's not real, mess with it. Climb walls, jump across, skyscrapers. Do this kind of crazy stuff, right? So his reality in the coherence theory, is saying he cannot accept what he couldn't, because this doesn't fit the world as he knows it. So he had a major, what we're going to talk about later, paradigm shift. All right, Neo has a paradigm shift and a half with coming into the real world, and so things did not fit. And what did he say? Let me out. This is not real. This is not, let me out of this. He just couldn't deal with it. It wasn't. It was surreal to him. All right. So according to coherence theory, well, yeah, it's not going to be true to him because it doesn't fit reality as I know it. I've grown up. It's 1999, and no, it's not 2199. What are you talking about? All right. So coherence theory says, but if you think about it for just a second, why is it that there was such a hard time